Anime as a medium is infamous for having bad horror. Most horror anime don't gel with people, and a significant chunk of the audience just straight up refuses to watch the genre at all. And for good reason. When you have shows like Death Note, Parasite, and Tokyo Ghoul in the list of the best horror anime ever, you know something isn't right. The reasons can be as complex as the intricacies of art, or as simple as us knowing that at the end of the day, these are just moving drawings after all. Enter Uzumaki. Being one of the hottest manga by Junji Ito and an anime announced for later this year, has the potential to break the curse of shitty horror anime. So in this video, let's discuss the problems with horror anime and why I think that Uzumaki might just do the impossible. Animation by its nature needs stylization and reduction of realism. It's a lot more difficult to illustrate a creepy living and moving organism through art than to just use a real life replica or computer graphics. And to expect the Hollywood cinema quality from an underpaid animator working his ass off to earn a couple of bucks is just dumb. Not to mention it's very expensive too, and even if someone is passionate enough to achieve this high quality, there are still the natural downsides that come with the medium of anime. Animation just cannot look real, so it being high quality doesn't really matter, because it simply can't preach realism. And in most anime this is not a problem, in fact it's seen as a positive. But when it comes to the genre of horror, this really becomes a huge issue. You see, horror uses the fear of something being real as its major strength. We humans need to believe something is or can be real to really give a fuck about it. That is why people shit their pants off when based on a true story pops up at the end of the credits. And this can be achieved in art, but it needs to be abnormally detailed like Uzumaki or other stuff by Junji Ito. A mangaka can sit hours upon hours at a time detailing every pixel because he has a personal attachment to it. It's their own manga. But an animator working for a money-hungry corporation just won't give a shit. Also, anime just keeps going on. What I mean by this is that when you play a horror game, for example, your actions and every move you make play a direct role in determining the fate of your protagonist, and you're forced to navigate the horror with them. And that does a lot to ramp up the tension and fear you feel. And with manga, you are the one who is making the conscious decision to turn the page on your own volition to find out what happens next. But anime just keeps going on, regardless of what you do or how little invested you are in the story. Obviously, live action horror is passive too, but with real actors doing real stuff in a real setting with the help of good digital effects, it becomes a lot easier to make the horror of those stories feel real. Now that we have established the problems with horror anime, let's discuss why Uzumaki the anime can strike gold with its quality adaptation under Hiroshi Nagahama. Uzumaki's horror is based on spirals. Not only are spirals the main focus of the horror, but also the story itself plays out like a spiral. The way a spiral starts from a point and then circles around itself, getting larger and larger in scope with every repetition. Each new arm is always larger than the last, and this keeps going on forever. To give you a taste of the kind of horror we are dealing with, I'm going to talk about one story from Uzumaki. Don't worry, every chapter is its own episode, being only semi-connected to each other, and this is only the first chapter, so no major spoilers here. Uzumaki follows the story of Kairi, who is a high schooler living an everyday life in a town named Kurozucho. From the start itself, there's something off about this town, something that nobody can quite put their finger on. Whirlwinds just appear out of nowhere, whirlpools appear in the water all over the town. The plant life also has a weird disproportionate look to them. And all of this doesn't really seem off to anyone in the town, because that's their town, that's what they're used to. But Kairi's boyfriend Suichi is someone who frequently travels out of this town. So every time he comes back, he feels that off vibe this place has. On top of that, his father is also super weird. He's obsessed with spirals, and this is not some weird collection hobby. This obsession has gotten to a point where he needs everything to be spiral. He lashes out at his wife if his food is not served with that white and pink stuff. He makes small tornadoes in his bath before going in, and he has a room full of spiral-shaped artifacts. Obviously, his wife is concerned about this, so she throws away his collection, and this is where the horror kicks in. He replies by again lashing at his wife, but then stops and says, "I don't care. I don't need to collect spirals anymore. I have finally realized that you can make spirals yourself. You can express the spiral through your own body. Like this." His eyes start spinning around and around with his right and left eyes moving independently of each other. As you might have expected, this obsession just keeps growing larger, and now even his tongue can turn into a spiral. All of this ends with him collapsing his body in a small tub, killing himself in a spiral. This page really caught me off guard. I know this does not look too horrific, but when you are sitting alone in your room with complete silence and you turn the page of your manga to witness pages like these, is something in itself. His own curiosity and obsession just kept growing larger and larger like a spiral, ending with his own demise. This is the very first chapter, by the way. Things will only get bigger and scarier from here. Again, just like a spiral. As we have discussed earlier, most of the problems with horror anime come down to the nature of anime as a medium itself. So really, Uzumaki can't fix these issues completely, but the staff are definitely going above and beyond to give us the best horror anime experience possible. Like how the anime will basically replicate the manga art one-to-one, even the colors, or the lack of it. Yes, Uzumaki is gonna be animated in black and white, to match the manga as closely as possible. I mean, have a look at both of these images and try to guess which one is the anime. Also, the anime was originally announced in 2019 and was set to release in 2020, but obviously it has been delayed a lot since then, and now it is set to be out in fall 2023. This means that this is completely a passion project from Production IG's end, because if the only goal was to earn money with Uzumaki, like most anime, then they would probably want to complete it as soon as possible, regardless of the quality. I'm not even exaggerating when I say that the trailer feels like they just made the manga move. It's actually insane. The level of detail and depth they are able to capture is really good and very important for a horror anime. Now, yes, this judgment is made on a 2-minute trailer, so keep expectations in check. All I'm gonna say is that I think we might just experience one of the best or the best horror anime in this medium's history.